Hi everyone, welcome to my channel AI Reality. Today I am going to talk about 10 amazing tips. And once you start using these tips, I'm quite sure that you will be ahead of 50% of the people those are currently using Midjourney. So even you are a beginner, start following these tips and you'll be ahead from all those people. So let's get started. Tip number one is organize your space. Some of you might be aware about what I'm going to talk about the organization of your workspace. But if you're not aware about that, I'm quite sure it is going to help you a lot. So when you join your Midjourney and you join Discord, so you must be landing to some of the rooms, right? You will be some of the rooms wherein a lot of people are trying their prompts and generating different set of images. However, it is a very good place to get the inspiration. So for example, I can look at any of these images. If I like, I can see what kind of prompt being used to generate this image. But once you try to generate something, so for example, I am creating one prompt, a dog with sunglasses. I'll just So here's my prompt, but at the same time, what will happen after a couple of seconds till the time my image is getting generated, because Midjourney takes some time to generate the image. And by that time, this will go up, and like somebody else has done that, right? So it will go somewhere else, and it will be tough for me to find my prompt wherever I have entered it, right? So there is one way to do that. To find your prompt, is you will just click over here and then you'll just click on mention, and if you click on jump, it will move the page to the place wherever your prompt is. So but this is not a very good place if you want to brainstorm something, you're thinking something, and you want to generate multiple image, you want to see your results. This is not the perfect way of doing it. So ideally, you should be creating your own workspace, right, for doing all your work that you want to do related to Midjourney. So how you can do that? For doing that, you just need to create one new server. So I'll click on this plus button. I will click on create my own, and the second option that we have for me and my friends. So I'll click here. You can give any names. For example, for example, YouTube, and then I'll create. Okay. So my new channel has been created. Now the only thing is, at this point in time, if I'll try to put imagine, it will not work, because at Midjourney bot has not been added here. So to do that, I'll just click over here, sorry, or Midjourney, and then at the Midjourney board, I'll click on this. I'll click on add to server. It will give me the server list. So this is the one that I have created. I'll click continue. I'll authorize. Don't uncheck any of these check boxes. Click on authorize, and will just ask me to confirm, and then good. So once I'm done and I'll click here, now you can see Midjourney bot is added. So what I can do is I can use the same command that you know here, and now I have all my prompts, all my images residing at the same place, and whenever I want to go and search, I can go ahead and search it. There's another way to organize it further. So what you can do is you can create your own channel under this server. So maybe I'll create one own channel, give you a name. For example, this is for YouTube, so I'll give a name like shorts. I'll create one. So whatever images I am generating for any kind of YouTube shorts, I'll be putting inside this, and anything else that is happening, I'll be putting like this. So you can see, and this my image is getting generated, and then whatever I want to do, I want to upskill something, or I want to try with new prompt, I can do under this chat. So this is about organizing. So if you organize it like this, you'll be your work would be easier, and then it would be kind of, you have everything at the same place to explore, and then historically you can also go and see what kind of art you have generated. Now, once you know how to organize your work, let's go ahead with our second tip, that is about inspire from others. So when you are the beginner, you do not know how to write the prompt. I mean, in general, you can just type anything. It's all about imagination, right? Whatever imagination you have, you can just put it inside the prompt, and Midjourney will do rest for you, and it will be creating the images for you, right? Based on whatever prompt you have provided. Um, Similarly, you can also um, you can also play around with those images. If you want to generate different variation, you can do that. However, in Midjourney, it's more about prompt engineering. So it's not about only prompt. You need to understand the remaining part of it, right? Different commands, different settings that you need to use, which setting provides you what kind of images, what aspect ratio you need to use, right? So there are different documentation. Even I'm going to talk about some of the useful ones, the most used ones that you can start applying. But if you want to get some additional insight, then you can also look at the work that other people are doing, and you can get inspired. You can understand the prompt they are generating, the specific keyword that they are using, for example 8K images or photorealistic, or something about lighting. So all these kind of things, you can just look at the images. If you if you like something, you can just understand the prompt, that how they have to do it. So I can go to any of this Discord channel. For example, I'm in 13 room, so I'll just go over here. Let's see if somebody has generated something good. So I like this one a lot, right? So what I can do is I can see, okay, what kind of prompt they have used, right? If you'll see, they have mentioned the style of Sony camera, 50 mm lens. They have given the aspect ratio. They have used the command stylus to 750. That would allow Midjourney to, apply the creativity. Okay. I'll be talking about all these AR, S, and V commands maybe later, maybe in this video, or maybe in my next video. But let's quickly try. So maybe I want to see what kind of, image the same prompt generate for me. So as I mentioned, I'll be using my own workspace. So I'll be entering imagine, and then enter the command. I'll not change anything. I'll keep all the settings same, and let's see what image this particular prompt generates for me. One thing for everyone to know is, even you provide the same prompt, Midjourney, in 99% of the cases, Midjourney will not be giving you the similar image. So your image would be different than what it was shown. It was generated using the same prompt. So you should keep that in mind. But obviously that would be kind of similar ones, so you can get some idea. Okay, this is a kind of image that has been generated. Obviously you have all those flexibility to play around with this with the prompt. You can apply your own imagination, your own creativity, and as much as Midjourney is all about being creative. If you can imagine something, you can convert it into words, then you are good. Midjourney will be able to give you the desired results most of the times. I mean, sometimes I found it's kind of not generating the way it should be, but most of the time, I would say even more than 80% times, it would be giving you the image. So we'll see, it has given me a couple of images, basically 4 images. And the first one, if you'll see with the one that I used, so this is a kind of similar image, right? So you can also the same prompt. The other place from where you can get this inspiration and understand the prompt is midjourney.com. If you log into midjourney.com and click on explore, there are different options, right? Hot is something that people are liking it. Rising, wherein people are getting more likes. New, the new creativity that has been done by different people around the world. And the top ones, the ones those are kind of got the maximum likes, or people are sharing and appreciating their work. So all those images are coming here. So here also, along with looking at the images, it also allows you to view the prompt. So copy the prompt. So you can do that. You can just click on full command, and what it will do is it will be let me paste it. So it will, you can copy the command. So there are two things to do that. Either you can copy the full command, or you can just copy the prompt. The second one, if you click over here, it will give you the copy only prompt. So it will not add additional settings that has been added along with the prompt, right? So let me create the similar one and try to see what kind of image it generates for me. Okay, let me go to my own workspace. So for example, I need to go, I'm creating it for shorts. Okay, so for example, I'll just put it here. So if I'm creating it for shorts, definitely I need to change aspect ratio. In that case, I'll be creating maybe 9:16, and oh sorry. Okay, so I just have entered, I entered somehow duration. That's why it gave me the message that unrecognized argument. So whenever you are giving some argument that is not understandable by Midjourney, it will give you the similar kind of, prompt. And most of the thing, it will not happen with the prompt, but it's more about the parameters that we use. So all the things that you see here with dash dash, all these are parameters that we give to Midjourney to do some additional work on top of the prompt that we have given. So I'll be talking about all these things um, going forward, but let's see what kind of image it generates for me. So similarly, you see there are a lot of good images, and if you want to see how these images were used and what kind of prompts were used for generating these images, you always had that option to go here, copy the command, try to see what kind of image was, what kind of prompt uh, used for generating this image. So for this example, snake with dragon horns, no leg, black scale. So there are a lot of information you can see, and it's all about imagination, right? As I mentioned earlier, you need to understand, you need to think about it, right? What kind of it's all about wordings. You will have to play with your words. You will have to play with your sentence. You will have to play with your scenic beauty and everything to let Midjourney know that what you are thinking, and then Midjourney will generate the image for you. So let's see whether my image got generated. It is still in progress. It says 50%. So let's see how it goes. And one more thing, if you change the aspect ratio, right, it will also change the type of image it generates. So once you start practicing, you will realize that, okay, if you're creating a scenic kind of image, right, the aspect ratio it should be wider image, right? When you are creating something that is focusing on someone's face, maybe 9:16 will also work. So once you start using it, once you start trying these prompts, probably you will understand that for which kind of image, what kind of aspect ratio we need to use. So I think it has generated an image for me. It's not as beautiful as what it generated with the same prompt here, but it's kind of okay for me. So sometimes you will have to try 2 or 3 times to get the desired image. I mean, in my personal, based on my personal experience, most of the time it gives me the correct image. But sometimes I face this issue when I need to, ask Midjourney with the same prompt, after tweaking some of the wordings to try again, and it never disappointed me so far. So I hope this would be the case for you as well. Okay, so now let's move with our third tip, which is settings. So settings is one of the important thing to know before you start with your Midjourney prompts. So once you click on \settings and press enter, it will give you different option. So initial top MG version 1, version 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.1. Currently you see 5.1 is selected. Raw mode, Nizi version 4, Nizi version 5. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it says NIGI. So these parameters you can change. So if you want to generate some image using some different version, for example, MJ version 5, you can just click here. As soon as you change default setting, it will also adding some suffix. So you can see it is adding dash dash v, that is the parameter that I talked about initially at mention 5. But as soon as you select the default one, it will remove it. Similarly with different thing. Style medium, style low, high, style very high. So all these parameters are about to communicate Midjourney that the image that you want Midjourney to generate, how much creativity Midjourney should be adding. It's not about creativity, it's all about how much different, style it would be adding in that image. So default is like mid. Once I click on high, it will say dash S 250. Right? Very high, it would be 750. Similarly, if you put like low, it would be 50, and medium is like 100. But in that case, there would not be any suffix added. Similarly, if you want to have any image in the remix mode, I'll be talking about that, or fast mode, and then you can do that. Similarly, if you want to reset the settings to the default one, you can always click here. It will remove all the suffix and then make the default one as your final setting. So this is about the settings. You should be aware about that, because what happens is sometimes you realize some of the parameters doesn't work with some of the versions, right? There are parameters those work with 2, 3, 4, doesn't work with 4, 5, 5.1. Similarly, the vice versa, some works with 5. So if you want to have if you have different requirement wherein you need to generate a specific set of image, wherein you need to use a specific set of parameter, you might need to change the version. If you want to generate a kind of enemy type of image, Neji version would be the right, mode that you should be using. So you always need to play around with all these kind of things to generate the specific image that is having a specific requirement. Okay. So tip number 4. Tip number 4 is all about aspect ratio. I already have talked about it, what aspect ratio means, but I'll just quickly give you an overview. So if you want to generate the image in different size, okay, so you will have to provide those aspect ratio, that what would be the height and width of that image that you want Midjourney to generate. To do that, we will just have to add some parameter at the end, and the parameter is AR. So what you need to do is you'll just enter imagine, and I'll put the prompt like beautiful if brand color, and then I'll just put AR, that is aspect ratio, and I'll give 16:9. So you can play around with that aspect ratio. As I mentioned earlier, that aspect ratio also impact the kind the style that it generates in that image. So if it's a kind of white image, or photorealistic image, be like whiter image, right? Maybe 16:9 or more width. Similarly, if you want to generate something that focus on a specific face or kind of animal image, probably the smaller image might work. So in that case, we can go with 19:16. Similarly, if there are cases when you need to generate some kind of square images, so you can just give 2:2, right? So it will be generating a kind of square image for me. So as you can see that this image is getting generated. At the same time, I'll be copying the same command, and what I'll do is I'll just put image in, and what I'll do is I'll just change the aspect ratio. So I'll just enter 19:16. So I just reversed it. So now it should be more like having less width and more height. So let's see how it gets generated. At the same time, our previous prompt has generated these beautiful images, and I really like even I like all, but let me upscale first and fourth. So for upscaling anything, so if you want to upscale anything, so out of these four images, if you like something, you need to upscale. So how it generates it? This is the first one, left top. Then this is the second one, right top. This is the third one, left bottom, and this is the fourth one, right bottom. So if I want to generate upscale first one and last one, so as I mentioned, U1, U2, E3, U4. So it will be generating two images for me. And now you see when I change the aspect ratio, I made it 9:16. This is a kind of wider image got generated. As you can see, these are the images that got generated for me. And yeah, it's amazing, right? You guys can understand the capability that we have with Midjourney and AI and what it is going to change, right? It's beautiful. But in the another one where I have given the aspect ratio is 9:60, you can see the type of image, the style of image is a bit different, right? The way it was in the wider image is a bit different here, right? So I like the first one and last one in that case as well. So let me upscale. I'll just upscale U1 and U4. So it will be generating some images for me. It might take a couple of seconds to generate, but yeah, so it's already generated. So you can see it's a kind of having more height and width based on the aspect ratio. So this is about AR command, and you can use it and play around with this, see that how images are getting generated based on the aspect ratio you give. And as I mentioned, it impacts the style and the kind of image it generates. So once you start practicing it, you will know more about it. Okay, so fifth command and last command for this video. Obviously, I'm going to talk about. So I'll be creating 5 different videos on these tips and tricks, and that is going to come sooner. So, but for this video only, our fifth tip would be repeat command. So there are cases. So whenever you enter any prompt, right? So as you can see above, it is generating 4 different images, right? So at a time, it is generating 4 different images, and it allows you to upscale something, create a different variation based on the image that you have given. And if in case you do not want to, you want Midjourney to generate multiple images together based on the same prompt, what you can do is you can give a prompt with imagine command. So I'll be saying cute dog written for his own home. In photorealistic, and then I'll give the aspect ratio as AR 16:9, and then I'll say dash repeat. Okay, so and press enter. What it will do is it will ask, are you sure you want to imagine 2 prompts of the same command? And I'll click on yes, and it will be generating 2 images for me. So as you can see, there are 2 images that is being worked upon by Midjourney. and it is generating two set of images, four from each, right? So I'll be getting eight different images based on the single command that I give. So let's wait for these images to generate, and then uh, we'll we'll end this video, and then I'll be working on another video where you will be getting next set of tips and tricks that would help you, create awesome art in Midjourney. If this video, if you like this video, please consider subscribing this channel. Also, please comment if you want to change something, if you want me to present it differently, if you're not able to understand my wordings, my sentences were not clear, any such comments, I would love to hear that. Your feedback is always valuable. So you can see, oh, how cute it is, right? I mean, all these images are awesome. All these cute little puppies waiting for their father to come, and then, you know, you can see, I mean, this one row. Okay. Okay, with that, I'll be closing this. I'll be ending this video. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Have a nice day. Have a great evening.